Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, BJ32, back again for another edition of What's on Deck. We're going to do this 2 videos. This one's going to be Kickstarter stuff only, looking at what is new on Kickstarter, of course, and ongoing. There's a couple of projects that ended, which are ending very soon, which we'll have to look at, I suppose. First of all, we got let's recap the ongoing projects. You got the Galacticum Luck 2 playing cards by Galacticum playing cards. 1% funded, 6 days to go. It is not going to happen. This is a relaunch. They renamed the deck, and that was all they did. If you got a deck that fails to fund, renaming it is not going to change a damn thing. You have to re-examine the goal. You have to re-examine the artwork more than anything. And they have failed to do that, and as a result, the project is failing once again. There we got the Bicycle Hercules playing cards from playingcards.net, which I think we looked at last week. It is funded, 19 days to go. Draconic playing cards by Full Hogs Ludi Booster is funded, 51 hours to go. Pythagoras playing cards by Pythagoras Cards, 15% funded, 13 days to go. It's not going to happen. Pollinator Garden playing cards by Kim Arnold. 2% funded, 41 days to go. It is not going to happen. It would be nice if they actually showed us what the cards are going to be like, as opposed to just going, hey, we got an idea. Let's make it happen. I Need a playing cards by Full House is funded, 11 days to go. Renaissance playing cards from Cards Enthusiast is 33% funded, 14 days to go. That would make it like a 20,000 euro goal. I don't think it's going to happen. Honeybee Elite Edition playing cards from Penguin Magic is funded. 6 minutes to go. Oh my goodness. You're going to miss out if you haven't gotten it. But you'll be able to get it later on from Penguin Magic, obviously. Olympians playing cards relaunch by Sky Member Presents is well funded. 15 days to go. Enliven Magic playing cards, Blue Edition by Brian Naratasai is 21% funded, 7 days to go. Not going to happen at this rate, much like the original attempt in red. Calibium Utopian Fantasy World playing cards by 11 Crows, 21% funded, 4 days to go. Again, not going to happen. Masterpiece playing cards by Lynn K. Patricia is funded, 10 days to go. It's an interesting idea, so it's got support. I don't know if we looked at the Mars deck now. Oh yeah, we must have. The Planets Mars playing cards, the 4th out of 8 decks by David Goldcrank, aka Vanda, is well funded, 7 days to go. Ancient Warriors playing cards, 2 decks set by Will Royer, is funded, 15 hours to go. They're pretty cool decks, so worth checking out. Voodoo playing cards by Spill Cards Up, also worth checking out. Well funded, 77 minutes to go. By the time this video is up, it will be done. Innocence playing cards by Daniel Snyder is funded, 15 days to go. Pretty interesting deck. Knucklehead playing cards by Mark Ludi is funded, 22 days to go. Kind of interesting deck itself, not my cup of tea. El Eracudo playing cards by Agitcom. Their second project is funded, 19 days to go. Definitely worth checking out. Looks like a very beautiful deck. Bloom playing cards Botanical Collects by Edgar Montero. This is a relaunch. It is funded, 22 days to go. Lines playing cards by CBL Art Studio is 17% funded, 30 days to go. I don't see it happening, but still plenty of time. 5 of Spades Urban Street Edition by Yassine Boudra, aka 5 of Spades, is 11% funded, 5 days to go. It does not look like it's going to happen. I can't recall. We must have looked at the Dream Recurrence last week. Dream Recurrence playing cards by Card Experiment is funded, 20 days to go. I don't know if they've unlocked the second deck. LMD deck by Vince H is 67% funded, 3 days to go. It may get there with a little last minute push, but who knows. Spikes by Cardistry, which is formerly called Spix, and I questioned that last week. What the hell is Spix? Now it's Spikes. Maybe they just were thinking of Spikes and they tried to be fancy about the writing. I guess that's what it was. It was Spikes, but they're spelling it weird now that I think of it. They renamed it, but it's still the same thing, and it's still 25% funded, 21 days to go. I don't think it's gonna happen. Creatures, deck of cards, Blank Edition by Random Mahmood. It's 15% funded, 4 days to go. And actually, this Spikes is by the same person. Why is 2 different projects on the 2 different accounts, both not doing good? I don't know. Personally, I would recommend to her, as far as the Creatures deck is concerned, go back to the drawing board. Re-examine it, maybe improve it. You might have a better chance of funding. Because it's not working as is. It's already a relaunch. And then there's the Metropolitan cards by Viri Balboni, which itself is a relaunch. 13% funded, 7 days to go. It's not going to happen. Boring is a miracle. Bad Girl Artwork Poker Deck Volume 4 by badgirlartwork.com, aka Marcel Hartso, is well funded. 4 days to go. Pretty low goal. I'm not sure if I mentioned that one or not. We'll have a peek. Let's do that right now. It's going to include sexy women, no doubt. Yes, I wounded myself. Pretty good cut on a staple. It's not fun. Probably should have gotten stitches, but it didn't. It'll be fine. Yep, there we go. Sexy women, if you will. There's a naked woman on the back design. Obviously, it's not USPC printing because they would be like, no, we're not printing that. It's a logo. It's a cheap printer, and it's exactly what you expect from her. Sexy cartoon characters on each card, naked. If you like that, by all means. And here you see the previous versions as well. You might be able to get them. All sorts of decks. Not sure when this one launched. Okay, so it just launched, so this one is brand new. I hadn't seen it before. Which, it's hard to keep track. But, only 25 backers, and it's already at $1,500 Canadian. Which is just over $1,000 US. Out of a $99 goal. Wow. You can't afford $99 to produce this? I mean, if you're going to have a $99 goal, what's the point of having that? But anyways, obviously, whatever. Let's move on. Alright, first of all, we got Mingle playing cards. What's new this week, aside from that one? We got Mingle playing cards by Triangle playing cards, which I believe is just another account for TCC playing cards, because this is, without a doubt, a TCC deck. It is 37% funded, 14 days to go. Slowly getting there. I'm sure it will get there in at a time. It even says it's designed by TCC Playing Card Company on the back of the box. I hope that's not exactly what's on the back of the box, because that looks, well, not great. Less than 1,000 for international sale, which means they've probably already printed them and sold them in Asia. Basically, it is a playing card deck for their female customers, but also suitable for boys to send to girls as gifts. Not just suitable for girls. So that means they don't want me to buy one because it's not for boys. Basically, it's a flamingo element on the back design where you can see the T. So it's kind of like their classic T deck. So their standard T deck with a pink flamingo on it. Adds pink colors. There's more flamingos on the jokers and the ace of spades. Standard faces, or standard number cards basically. And the court cards, flamingo faces, because why the hell not? They couldn't have just done these standard traditional court cards with pink colors like the pink ribbon edition deck. Hearts and diamonds, by the way, are in pink. Yeah. I like the idea with the back design. I see they're looking at a boys version, perhaps in blue. I like the idea with the back design, the flamingos, and making it pink. I don't like so much incorporating that flamingo into the court cards, especially when it looks like almost essentially repeating. But yeah, and of course printed in Taiwan. So yeah, there's that one for me. Pass. What else is there? Odyssey playing cards by Third Way Industries, which is very well funded. 23 days to go. Very beautiful decks, but when I look at it, I see more of the same old, same old. It looks like the same figures we've seen in, what, a dozen decks now from them? Multiple projects. And it's getting a little bit repetitive. I would love to see something completely brand new and fresh from Third Way. Not what they've done in their last project, as that wasn't exactly brand new and fresh either, the Delirium. Just something completely different and new and unique. And, I mean, I like the artwork, it's good. And then you look at the prices, oh, that hurts your wallet. There's 3 different decks, the Minerva, the Neptune, and the limited edition Mythica. And the King of Spades is apparently half man, half woman on that one. As you can see, the artwork is basically the same figures from one deck to the other, Minerva to the Neptune, except that they have the different styles, obviously, but basically it's the same figure, same face. Not ready yet. Why is it not ready yet? There you see the tough cases. Very beautiful, lots of foil. Everything is going to be completely different for each deck, which thumbs up. You know how many projects there are currently on Kickstarter, or that I've seen on Kickstarter where they have 2 or 3 different decks, but they're just recolors. Not the case with Third Way, because as you can see, the King of Hearts in each deck, while similar, is completely different from one to the other, as are the backs. So that is the best thing about his projects for me, is that he modifies everything, changes everything on the core cards and the backs from one deck to the next to make each one unique. 42 years for all 3 decks, and that was the early bird. Value at over $90 US. I don't know exactly how it comes up with that value. It's only 65 bucks Canadian only. That's pretty expensive. My poor wallet. So basically, he is going to double the value. Except that later on he's going to have a sale on his website where everything is not going to be 90 bucks for all 3 decks, I guarantee you. Anyways, let's look at some more of the artwork. It's beautiful artwork. Beautiful aces. I like the blue color on there. On the clubs and the spades, I'm sure. That's it. I mean, it's very well done. I don't want to seem like I'm complaining about it. The artwork is well done. I just think that, you know, it's a lot of money for what feels like it's more of the same old, same old. Soft nudity, censored in the cards preview. They censored the nudity? No. I want to see it. Nah. Alright, 2-way court cards. That's always interesting. So they're not mirror image court cards. They're different from one side to the other, which is fine. It's interesting. It's a little bit additional thing, additional artwork, but then it makes it harder to review because I gotta like flip all the cards around. Okay, I'm complaining too much. I apologize. But I mean, if you look at the artwork of some of these previous decks, you can see it's similar, very similar. Wow. You can actually get a brick that includes, you can get the Circuit Monster box, which is the same as Calypso's box, but also includes a brick of his previous decks. The Pantheon, which is worth 65 bucks. Are you kidding me? I don't think so. The Eva. Total over $1,000, and I don't know how much it costs. The Delos, Lunaticas, Sins. Anyways, either way, it's funded. It's well funded. It's a beautiful deck of cards. All 3 of them. There's Calypso. Definitely check out the project if you want to see more about it. I'm not going to sit here talk about it. Apparently, he's not decided who he's going to print with. He's evaluating USB-C Expert and Carta Mundi. I wouldn't mind USB-C or Carta Mundi. I would prefer not Expert playing cards. The quality isn't quite on par with those other companies as far as I'm concerned. And then also you have to factor in bringing it in on a slow boat from the other side of the world to North America, and it just takes a lot longer. That's my, thoughts about that. Moving on, we got the Whale Castle deck of cards by JD14. His last project, of course, was funded. This one is also almost funded, 66% funded, 6 days to go. It's a 1-week project. Oh my God. I apologize. I just threw my headphones away here. Sorry if that was loud. Well, it's an interesting looking tuck case, the Whale Castle. I don't know how he came up with this idea of a whale castle, but right. It reminds me of something on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, to be exact, which was a castle on a dinosaur spaceship thing. The back design, dark colors. It's a castle on top of a whale with a lighthouse and a moon. A lot of marine type things going on there. And then the faces, you got fish on all the court cards. Whales, sea lions, seahorses, shrimps, stingrays, hammerheads. It's interesting to see all that fish there. Interesting style on the faces, interesting court cards. Not really my cup of tea, I don't think. Interesting bat design. Printed by JJPC with a butter finish, comparable to bicycle stock but smoother. Don't know what that is, don't know who that is, but I will find out when I get the Treble Clef deck on what the quality is like. Oh look, you can get a mouse pad. Or wouldn't it be called a whale pad? Anyway, this one should get funded in a matter of time. Then we've got a couple more here. We got Paper Cuts. Hand-cut playing cards by CZ Taylor and Art of Play. It is well funded. 28 days to go. This one is a very nice deck of cards. What she's done, what CZ Taylor has done, is she has gone through this delicate art of paper cutting. So all these details you see, all these flowers and everything you see on the cards, she actually cut those out of paper and kind of glued them all together and created the court card. Created the Ace of Spades. It's kind of like a collage, copy and paste collage. Cut and paste. So you can see right here her cutting them up. Well, okay, so what she did actually is, she didn't do that. I was wrong. What she did is she took a piece of paper and she intricately cut out all those details. So every little flower you see on the court card, she cut that out by hand. Same with the Ace of Spades. So it's a very interesting deck. Completely custom. Interesting back design. It's a lot of cutting. She did all that. And then, of course, it gets sketched onto a piece of paper. Over a year creating these designs. Yeah, and probably carpal tunnel. I would imagine. Very nice, though. Obviously, it's not as minute as the cards. It's bigger, and then it gets reduced onto the playing card. But it's very well done. It's a very interesting idea. Not the first deck that's been paper cut like that. And obviously not the last one. But it's very nice. I am a little bit surprised to see Art of Play doing a project on Kickstarter. $10 on the early bird. If you missed out, well, unfortunately it's going to be $12. And it will sell it for $15 on their website, so it's worth it to get it here as opposed to later on. $1,200 for one of the original hand-cut pieces that she used. That's a lot of money. Of course, the Ace of Spades is gone. Nobody wants anything else, apparently. But yeah, it's a beautiful deck of cards. Definitely worth checking out. Moving on, we got the Stripey Deck Luxury Edition by Baptiste Blom. This is the second stripy one. It's 95% funded, 24 days to go. It will fund in a matter of time. What exactly makes it a luxury edition, though? I have no idea. It's a bit pricey. 15 bucks for a deck, 15 euros for a deck, which is 23 bucks Canadian, by the way. Basically, it's the same bat design as the previous stripy deck, which was a pastel colored edition. This one, I guess, is gold colors. I guess that's what makes it luxury. It's gold. Is it going to have foil on it? It does have foil on it. Okay, so definitely, it's interesting. It's worth checking out. Extremely limited. Gold foil on the cards. Printed by Cardamone on a B9 finish. So instead of just doing a color swap, he went big, luxurious. He went gold. Gold foil, that is. More mature, high-end quality deck, sir, if you say so. But yeah, it's pretty interesting in that case, and I'm definitely down for that. It looks nice. Look at that. Pretty cool. So it's going to be good quality. It looks pretty nice. Gold foil throughout. I imagine everything you see in gold is foil, but not 100% sure. We'll find out eventually. Once I get it. Anyways, moving on. See if there's anything else to do on Kickstarter this week. I haven't mentioned it yet. There's the Alien Empires, illustrated playing cards by Dan Feldmeyer. 16% funded, 25 days to go. Not sure what's going to happen at this rate. There's just a lot going on Kickstarter. It's interesting artwork. It's not his first project. I think I've actually seen this before. Nice, interesting bat design with green alien and purple colors. Interesting court cards. While the court cards are theoretically reversible, they are also one way because of the elements in the background. Alien aces, apparently. Interesting custom pips. Of course, we don't exactly know what aliens would look like or do look like, so this is a completely biased deck on what aliens might look like. It's a nice bat design. Well, it's not nice. I mean, it's interesting. It's kind of nice. It's a nice color. It's pretty weird. Not sure if it says who's producing it or not. Printed for USB-C. And yes, he's done this before. It was canceled. It wasn't going to fund. That was a year ago. And he's relaunched it, and he hasn't changed a whole lot from what I can tell. Oh, he's changed the color of the bat design. The bat design used to be the stark black, gray color. It's much better now, the bat design. A whole lot better. However, everything else is basically the same. So, I mean, it's a good improvement, but that's it. That's the whole improvement. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference. Definitely it helps out, but I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference. Then we got the Edge Jelly Cardistry Trainer 2.0 from TCC Presents. It is funded, 18 days to go. Once again, they're using multiple accounts for multiple projects, because they have not learned their lesson yet. What these are cardistry trainers. They're not actual playing cards. Apparently they're jelly. And they use the Edge playing card back design on them, as you can see. And they are funded, 18 days to go. Ebonite, but they're not easy to be bet. You think? You get 5 pieces, and there you see the Edge cards themselves. I do like they're pretty nice. If you're looking for the Edge decks, I actually have some available. Let me know. And there's a wood trainer. I do have a review on that. Sort of a review. um, all sorts of trainers in there. Let's move on. Then there is the Foreign Claw Manor illustrated playing cards by Steve Ellis. It is funded. 24 days to go. I have not looked at this one yet. Man, there's a lot to talk about. Interesting, completely custom cards. One-way court cards, which some people are not going to like. Some people aren't going to care about. It's about some kind of a mystery or something like that. Some kind of a story. Weird looking figures, obviously not humans. Mr. Cthulhu is a playboy. Oh, good. It's definitely very unique and interesting and original. I will give it that much. Printed on a 300G gray core card paper, glossy finish, spot foil. Very interesting. I don't know who's producing it though. I imagine possibly NPC, but don't quote me on that. Best thing would be if you're interested in it and you check it out and you're concerned about it, is ask the creator who exactly is producing it. Because it does not seem to say, but it's very interesting. Of course, I'm not going to go for this one. Then there's the Halloween deck by Swamp Decks, because why not? It's May, so why would you do a Halloween deck in May? I could see maybe September or October, but May, they definitely have Halloween themes going throughout. Custom pips, bats. For some reason, they decided to make the hearts a padlock. It's interesting. Let's see if it says it's going to be printed by NPC on a 330 GSM Superior Smooth stock, which he's apparently used before. NPC. It's interesting. It's not my cup of tea, and big problem for me is I don't see what the back design is, at least not without looking at the video. So yeah, how much do they want as well? $15 for one deck, and you have to pay $4 for shipping to the USA. A lot of Americans are going to be like, nope, because Americans like free shipping, and that's it. Then we got The Last Legion by Natalia Silva, which is 63% funded, 16 days to go. At this rate, I would not be 100% surprised if it did not make it. Why? Because she's got about 4 outstanding projects, including the Crazy Deck, on a different account. The Crazy Deck especially, she seems to have been ignoring. And for me, I mean, like, I want to trust Natalia Silva. She's always delivered on her projects, but she's got 4 outstanding projects. There's been a lack of communication and updates. The last 2 updates on her projects were basically copy and pasted 3 months apart or 2 months apart, whatever it was, basically saying, we're having some delays, it's going to take longer, and that's basically it. But it was the same thing, basically, as an update, I think, in January, and then again in March. So there's been some updates, but nothing. No, the updates have been very vague, and with not a lot of information. Not much in the way of what the delays were caused by, except for the first one, she said it was something regarding changing artwork. which I have to question it because these projects, these other ones she did, not including the Avalon, which is the last one she did, but the Muertos ones and the Crazy Deck, they were funded last summer. 6 months later, she decides to make changes to the artwork. What happened in those 6 months that she couldn't get that artwork changed or that she didn't change it? They should have been produced and fulfilled by now in 6 months, especially if the artwork was done. And looking at the projects, it does seem like the artwork was done. And why she made the changes, I don't know. She hasn't said anything. This one, oh God, I will be right back. All right. I apologize. I was trying to get this video done before that happened, but it happened. This one is on a post-apocalyptic battle between angels and humans. Well, number one, why would angels be battling humans? And it just doesn't make sense. Angels are supposed to be good and sweet. But anyways, apparently she's been working on this with her friend. She did say something here somewhere. Here's the back design. It's interesting. It kind of reminds me of some vintage USB-C ones with these 4 circles with figures in them, except that obviously quite different. But if you look at like well, you look at the 125th anniversary edition backs, you get like the 4 circles in the corners. Some similarities. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this one. Printed by USB-C, bicycle stock. Only 1,500 decks. Here's the court cards, and here's my first issue. Look at the index. It's interesting, it's different, it's unique. And they got the letter within the pip, and a big one at that. But then, and it's nice artwork, it's interesting artwork. Then you get to the number cards, eventually. And they got standard indexes. Why? For me, for one thing, when I look at cards, I like to see uniformity, if you will. I like to see all the indexes the same, not different. It's just these indexes on the court cards are going to make it harder to use, harder for playability purposes, and they should have just been kept the same as the number cards. That's one of my biggest issues. There's also a limited edition that I just noticed. I haven't seen before. $40 US, $43 international for a deck. No thank you. I don't care what the tuck case looks like. And apparently it opens up like a pair of wings, which is very interesting and unique. But how durable is that going to be? How sturdy is that going to be? Those wings might fall off eventually. My problem, though, again, is just she's always finding ways to try to get as much money from backwards as possible with these limited edition decks at 3 times what they should probably cost. Or 2 times what they should probably cost. I'm not a fan of that. And I'm also not a fan of the tuck case on the standard one. It doesn't even tell you what it is on the front of the tuck case. Neither one of them do. I see she's wants you to follow her on Instagram, except not me apparently. Anyways, there was something I saw somewhere. Maybe it's not here anymore. I wanted to mention. Let's take it out. No, it doesn't say. I think it used to say something in the project about. Okay, well, I guess basically, kind of says here, it says he has a new team to take care of production, fulfillment, shipping process. So fast production and shipping is guaranteed. I'll see it, I'll believe it when I see it. Fast shipping and production has not been something she has been known for. There was something that she said, but it's not here anymore, about having some kind of personal issues. You know how many times, how many creators I've seen that have had personal issues, that have had problems producing and fulfilling decks, and so far, she's been doing that. Like, I'm not trying to discredit her or anything like that. I still think she's a good creator, and I hope to see the last projects that she's produced, or that she is producing, that she's funded. But so far, we haven't seen those. She hasn't been communicating on those ones, and it upsets me a little bit. Just, it concerns me. So whether or not this one funds, based on all that, who knows? One other thing I noticed is that her website was not working. It's still not working, which is concerning. I've seen other creators who had websites that expired, that were no longer working, and they disappeared. So there are some red flags, I hate to say it, with these projects, with Natalia Silva. I hate to say it, but I have to say it. I have to warn you. All of Tally Ho Playing Cards by Jackson Robinson. Apparently he's decided to have another kid. Whether he's doing that so that he can produce another deck, or he's just doing the deck because he's having another kid, I'm not sure, but I guess the baby's going to be called Olive. It's the 5th one in a series of limited edition playing cards. Kind of sucks he hasn't had any boys. Don't know what's up with that, but he's well funded. 48 hours to go. It's only like a 1-week project. Nice tally hole playing cards. Beautiful back design. Beautiful colors. Again, you get the Jackson Robinson court cards, which is fine. They're nicely done. But again, kind of more of the same old, same old. And there's the spades, the jokers. It's a very nice deck of cards. Obviously, apparently there's only 850 being produced. Traditionally cut, Hocus and finish, foil tuck case with embossing, and a numbered seal. And there's also a gilded edition, only 200 available. And of course it has copper gilding, and it's basically the same thing. And there's a legacy edition. Yeah, last I checked, it's had issues with legacy editions. There's also a player's edition because let's get as much money from backers as we possibly can. Because the dollar is what Jackson Robinson seems to care about more than anything. The good news is those ones will be USPC produced because the tally holes and not produced in China like his other decks. So that's the plus side about that project. And yes, I am a backer, and I'm looking forward to that one. I know I wasn't going to back anymore. I said I wasn't going to back more Jackson Robinson decks, but it's a tally hole. You got to get a tally hole. I then we got one more project here from Handlords, DeVoe. It is exquisite special players edition. It is funded, 7 days ago, well funded. I believe it's very similar to the previous one he did a year or two ago, whatever it was, except that it's black in color. I think it looks pretty cool. It's nice artwork. It's completely custom. Obviously, USPC produced. Also, you get a free magic routine. Yay. A card and glass effect. With included special jokers. And apparently it's only going to be delivered in November. Really? His estimated delivery is November? I don't buy that because usually he delivers decks immediately. Like, he's already producing this. I guarantee you it's already in production. So, it's not going to be delivered in November. It's got to be delivered in the next couple of months, I would assume. But they're pretty nice looking. It's interesting. That's the Joker and glass routine. I see. I thought it was in actual glass, but it's actually a glass cup. It's not bad though. You may or may not want to check it out. You may or may not like it. But that is that for Kickstarter. I apologize if it's a long video. There was a lot to talk about. And some things I wanted to address, obviously. That is that. Stay tuned for all the non-Kickstarter stuff. We'll see you next time.